नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीम् उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टकी। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। We are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter 2. Shuddha or Nitya Siddha. Nitya Siddha means he was a liberated soul. Like Shukadev Goswami was a Nitya Siddha, which means that he never had attachment for material things. From his childhood, he had a natural instinct to serve Lord Krishna. So he used to play with the dolls of Lord Krishna. And he never had attachment for material things. So, continuing the same thing here in this shloka also, it is mentioned that his service attitude, which was there in the childhood, it never slackened. You understand the word slackened? Slackened means as the time goes by, our bhakti reduces actually, sometimes. Sometimes people, as the age progresses, our body does not cooperate, and hence our sadhana becomes weaker. Also, Srila Prabhupada ji kept on traveling all over the world. Our Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, he is old. He is now 79, right? How old is Guru Maharaj? 77. 79? 79. That's what I heard. Anyway, 79 years age, Guru Maharaj every day does deity worship. He has so many Saligram Shilas and Gaurnitai and Narsimha Bhagavan, and his like that Abhishek ceremony goes every day for 1 hour at least. Plus, he is always on the altar at 4 o'clock. Plus, he gives Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam classes. Plus, he travels to America, Russia, Canada, all over India. Now, 79 years age, imagine, it is really difficult to go from one place to another. Maharaj is in his old age also, you can see this sentence perfectly matches to our Guru Maharaj. In his old age, that attitude of service never slackened. He will never, he has got like a stent in his heart. Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, his heart has been operated multiple times probably. And he has a problem called as Parkinson's disease. A Parkinson's disease is where your hand and body never balances or shakes all the time. But in his old age also, those physical limitations are not the barriers for his service. You see, he was in Toronto in June, July, and I was there with Maharaj. He had a Parkinson, but still he every day went for a walk, 1 hour. Imagine. He gets up early in the morning, no matter how late he goes to the sleep. He's there up in the morning. He does his whatever the sadhana, and then he goes for a walk. He gives the classes. Then he meets hundreds of people, and then he has these Zoom meetings and so many other meetings Maharaj is attending. And he is a GBC for America and India and so many other countries. So he is looking after the so many other administrative things also. But the thing is that he has excuse. He can easily say that okay, I'm old, I'm not doing anything. Is anybody going to say anything to him? Nobody will say anything to Gopal Krishna Maharaj that oh, Maharaj says if I'm old and I'm not traveling, so what? Hmm. Right? He could say that, but he's not doing it. And he continues his service. And even in the COVID time also, Maharaj constantly gave lectures and he was always like, Maharaj had a COVID also. He got infected with the COVID virus. So this is what we learn from Uddhavji, and our Guru Maharaj or great devotees have the same qualities that of Uddhava. Uddhava is a pure devotee, and what are the qualities of pure devotee we can see in a real living person. So, as soon as he was asked about the message of Lord, he at once starts remembering about Krishna. So here is our Uddhavaji. If you ask a pure devotee anything about Krishna, they are very happy to answer it because they are ecstatic about it. They are overflowing. You see, uh, when you have a cup which is full of water, and if you add more water, then the water will overflow. Overflow means it goes out, spills outside. Similarly, when you have Krishna in your heart, so much Krishna that your heart is full, then it starts overflowing. Then you start distributing. You can distribute only if you are full. If you are empty, you can't distribute anything. If you do not have bhakti, then how can you give bhakti? You can only give if you have too much in abundance. And we can see that all these great devotees like Srila Prabhupada, he could distribute Krishna consciousness all over the world because he had that much surplus Krishna consciousness.
There's never too much.
Huh? Srila Prabhupada had so much of Krishna consciousness, there wherever he went, he distributed. Suppose he had no Krishna consciousness, can he give to someone? He cannot give. So, as soon as he was asked about the message of Lord, he at once remembered and he started speaking about Lord Krishna and his pastime. So, in next slokas onwards, we will remember, we'll hear from Uddhavji how he remembers Krishna. So, he can remember Krishna in multiple ways. So, let's read what Srila Prabhupada is saying. The transcendental service to the Lord is not mundane. The service attitude of devotee gradually increases and never becomes slackened. This is very important. The service, it is not a mundane service. What is mundane service means? Like service when we do material service, like say I go to the hospital, right, and I do the service. Or somebody goes to some mall or somewhere, we do the service. It's a business. Now, in the business, we like to have weekend. Every day, everybody, when I go to the hospital, on Friday, they'll say, oh, wonderful, we have a Friday now, Saturday, Sunday. They're always looking for a break because that is a mundane service. But in the spiritual service, we feel unhappy if we have a break. You see, one day you don't chant, then see what your mind is like. Mind say, oh, I haven't chanted today. Oh, what a good, what a bad thing. You miss it, right? Like Prabhuji misses coming to the temple, right? He remembers Krishna. He travels all the way. At this age, Prabhuji is traveling, and he has this physical problem also. But that is not a limitation.
Easy just to sleep in and not come to temple.
Ah,
It gets easier.
Right.
And easier to get up and come to temple.
Like our Prabhuji, he has excuse. He can say, okay, I have a leg surgery. I am old, 75. How old are you, Prabhuji? How old are you? 77?
Well, I'm not sure what the question gets up.
What is your age? What is your age?
For the upcoming year?
Your age.
Your old age.
Old age, how old are you?
75.
75. See, so Prabhuji is 75. He has a leg problem and he doesn't have a car. So he can say, I'm not coming to the temple. Right? Easy, right? But Prabhuji has the service attitude. Huh? So this is not a mundane. Sometimes you pay people money, they won't come on time. If you give somebody like, I will give you $10, can you come every day morning 7 o'clock? No, I'm not coming. Or one time he find an excuse, okay. But Prabhuji, he spends money to come all the way and he comes on time actually. So and then whenever he cannot come, he feels like that I'm not coming. So that is called as transcendental. Huh. Transcendental service means that there is, if you miss it, then like you know, in Pune temple, I'm from Pune temple. So there, everybody has been given certain service. Like say somebody is given cooking service, somebody is given cleaning service, and you tell them that okay, tomorrow onwards don't do this service. That devotee will cry.
Because he's
Oh, to get the service is very hard in India, in the temple. And as soon as the service is stopped, my God, the devotee will cry. How can you take away my service? So this is what is called as transcendental service. The service attitude of the devotee gradually increases and never slackened. So this is very important. So you're doing one round, gradually increase to two round, two to four, four round to six round to eight round, gradually, gradually, gradually.
Why should he cry for it?
Uh,
And he is gradually increasing, why should he cry for
he wants the service. He doesn't want to stop the service. You see, devotee never wants service to be taken away from them. अगर किसी को, if you somebody is doing a DT worship service, you take away the DT worship from that devotee will shatter his life. He said, how can you take away DT worship from me? DTs are like, there are two brothers, Jananivas and Pankaj Jananivas in Mayapur. Now, one brother passed away recently because of the COVID. But these devotees, two brothers, they have been doing DT worship for at least 40 years or so. So many years in Mayapur. And they never left Mayapur service, DT worship service. Because that's very close to their heart. So devotees are very much attached to their services and they increased. Generally, in old age, a person is allowed to retire from mundane service. But in the transcendental service of the Lord, there is no retirement age. On contrary, the service attitude increases more and more with the progress of age. You see, this is the Srila Prabhupada is saying that in bhakti there is no retirement. If you say, okay, I am 75, I am retiring from bhakti, it doesn't happen like that. Bhakti is no retirement at all. But in transcendental service, no retirement.
But in transcendental knowledge, that is Nitya Siddhi also comes. No?
Hmm?
Nitya Siddhi.
Nitya Siddhi.
Transcendental knowledge becomes a Siddhi person.
Yeah, as you gradually, Nitya Siddha means that you become firmly fixed. On contrary, the service attitude increases more and more with the progress of age. You see, we have seen this in our Guru Maharaj. He is doing more service actually. In the old age, you should reduce, but he is doing more seva. So, in the transcendental service, there is no satiation, and therefore there is no retirement. Some people retire at 60, 65, but in bhakti, increases as the age advances actually. So, because you have more time in your hand, so you can give more time to Krishna. Sometimes in old age, people go to casino. Prabhuji could go to casino and spend some money there, but he is coming to temple. See, such a wonderful attitude Prabhuji has. We can learn a lot from Prabhuji. Materially, when a man becomes tired by rendering service in his physical body, he is allowed to retire. But in the transcendental service, there is no feeling of fatigue because it is a spiritual service and not on the bodily platform. This is very important. That body and soul are different. Body and soul are entirely different. Mind is also different than the soul. But when you are involved in the spiritual service, you get the energy from Paramatma, from the super soul. And that is why you are able to serve. It is not an easy job to do service at the age 75, 79 years of age. Is impossible. But devotees are able to do it. Like our Bhakti Marg Swami, he is 70 years old. How old? 70. But still he is walking. He got two knees replaced. Both the knees are replaced, but still he is walking. He is an amazing person. We get inspired by these devotees. The devotees inspire each other by their behavior, by their attitude. So when you see such wonderful devotees, you feel that we should learn from them.
Your example becomes he's also had new information. India, Delhi temple.
He will do parikrama.
Yeah.
So this is the class of devotees. The service on the bodily plane dwindles as the body grows older, but the spirit is never old. Therefore, the spiritual plane, the service is never tiresome. You see, this is Srila Prabhupada is explaining that the service which we are doing is spiritual service, and spirit never becomes old. Body becomes old. Like yes, other day we were watching the video of Srila Prabhupada's disappearance. When he was passing away, he was on the final stages in Vrindavan on the bed. Then Prabhupada ji, his brain was very sharp and he was dictating Srimad Bhagavatam. Like his body is very weak, like he has not eaten anything, and you can see the bones from the skin, Srila Prabhupada. His cheeks are gone down, very weak Prabhupada. But spiritually very strong. So he is saying on his final moment, dictating Srimad Bhagavatam actually. He is saying that if you read Srimad Bhagavatam, then Rajoguna and Tamoguna will disappear, and what will left will be the only Sattva Guna. This is what Srila Prabhupada is saying in the final moment. Uddhava, undoubtedly old man, but that does not mean his spirit became old. His service attitude matured on the transcendental plane. And therefore, as soon as he was questioned by Vidura about Lord Kṛṣṇa, he at once remembered his Lord by reference to context and forgot himself on the physical plane. This is very important. That he forgot his physical identity. That I am the Sharira, he forgot and he started explaining about Shri Krishna. That is the sign of a pure devotional service to the Lord. What is the sign of pure devotional service to the Lord? That he will never ever refuse any service. Even though old age, he will never refuse service. Sometimes we say someone, can you do this? Oh, no, I am really busy, tired, this, that. But
maybe
that is not pure.
Maybe can't understand what we do. Then we say,
as will be explained later on, Lakshanam Bhakti Yogasya in Lord Kapila's instruction to his mother Devhuti. So, Bhakti के बहुत सारे लक्षण हैं, lots of signs of Bhakti, but this is one of the purest sign of Bhakti. What is that? That devotee, his Bhakti will advance as the age advances. It's not that he will reduce the service, he will increase the service as the age advances. Like Srila Prabhupada's example we learned, then his Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj example, and our living example, Prabhuji is here, sitting here and doing seva. So wonderful to see such a. There are many senior devotees of Srila Prabhupada who are there on the planet still, and we can learn from all these devotees that there's so many sannyasis, they have this old age issue because now they are in their late age, right? But then still they are continuing their service. No sannyasi has ever retired. Have you heard a sannyasi retired from bhakti and went to resort? No, never. So bhakti is wonderful because it's on the spiritual plane. With that, we will pause it and we'll continue the reading tomorrow. Nidra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.